It's a big year for General Motors. Not only is there a brand new Corvette, but there's also this, the brand new 2014 Silverado, the most popular, best-selling vehicle that GM builds. So join me next as we take it on-road, we take it off-road, we tow with it on our first drive review. Coming up next on the Fast Lane Car. 2013, 2014. Can you see the difference? Tom Peters, who designed this new truck and also is the designer behind the Corvette, calls this much more aggressive, much more, well, manly design a fist in the wind. It also might be a fist in the face to Ford and Ram.
One of the biggest aspects I mentioned in terms of enhancing the brand and a bigger, bolder image, if you look compared to the current truck, the face of it, I like to refer to it as fist in the wind, where it's more kind of reaching forward and higher. The chrome trim was brought up higher, for instance. We wanted to make sure that we wanted to build upon the fact that Chevrolet is going with a twin port element. Wanted to continue that. You know, as Jeff mentioned, they said, why did they put you in charge of truck and Corvette? Well, when you think about it, they're both high performance vehicles. The customers are very passionate.
Under the hood of this particular Silverado is a brand new all-aluminum 5.3 liter V8 that puts out 355 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. There's also a 4.3 liter V6, and coming later this fall, the same engine out of the Corvette. That's right, the 6.2 liter V8. That should be a monster, but right now, let's find out how fast this one goes from 0 to 60. Alright guys, I've got a flat stretch of road. We're in San Antonio, so we're at about sea level. The Solar D all set up, and I'm going to leave the traction control on because when I turn it off, this is what happens. Alright, 0 to 60, let's find out. Give the engine a little bit of gas and let go. There we go, full throttle. There's the power. Five and a half thousand RPMs. Here's 50 and here comes 60 right there. 8.78 seconds, 8.78, which, you know, it's not bad for a big pickup that can tow 11,000 pounds. Let's face it, these are going to be used mainly as work trucks or as family trucksters. And in either of those uses, people aren't going to use them to drag race. So certainly plenty of power to get from 0 to 60 onto the on-ramp of the highway.
From the fuel economy, that is segment leading V8 and beats others, V6s in some cases, to the interior quietness and refinedness, the layout of the controls, the driving dynamics are just so superior here. We have electric power steering in this new truck. We have stiffened the suspension on the vehicle to make it smoother riding and just a more refined, quiet ride. In fact, there are no truck in the segment that is quieter while driving than this truck.
This is not Colorado off-road. This is Texas off-road. All right, I'm giving you a hard time, guys. I know I'm Texas. You got a lot harder stuff than this. You do, don't you? Because this little hill that I'm about to go down, not so hard, really. Good news is there is a little bit of a water crossing that I get to try this pickup on. Whoa, here's something interesting. The proximity sensors, when I go down the steep hill, pick up the bottom of the hill, and my butt vibrates. And here we go, right through the water. Woo! It's a little creek, or is it creek? I think it's cricket here in Texas. that I'm driving through. And to be honest, I'm not even in four-wheel drive. I'm just in regular old two-wheel drive, because in a pickup truck with this much ground clearance and these big old wheels, and I believe this one has 20 inches, you really don't need to even go into four-wheel drive. Am I talking Texan lock? Sorry, I gotta stop that. I think I'm getting a little too into the Texas mode of driving pickup trucks. Oh my, whoops, guess what? I never put it in four-wheel drive. GM was kind enough to set up this loop for us, and yeah, I did the whole thing in two-wheel drive. I guess that speaks to the capabilities of the new Silverado. Now GM has gone a long way to make this a lot better truck. For instance, the hood, it's made of aluminum, saving 17 pounds. It can now tow 1,000 pounds more for a total of about 11,000. And perhaps more importantly, it has cylinder deactivation in both the 6 and the 8 cylinder. So I'm putting along here. I see a big V4, which means that I'm only using 4 cylinders, and that of course saves fuel. And have you announced pricing yet?
Yes, we have. And it's essentially carryover pricing from our 2013 models. Yeah, well, we're really happy. Again, the new Ecotec 3 engines, which essentially seamlessly combine the active fuel management, the direct injection, and variable valve timing, allow us to be able to increase horsepower, increase torque, and at the same time increase fuel economy.
Of course, all the controls are big, and in fact there are nice surfaces on these big rotary dials. They're rubbery, nice to the touch. And I like what they've done with it. I mean, it still has that bold, shall we say, manly, workmanlike character, but yet at the same time, it's very inviting, and I could see my wife being very comfortable behind the wheel of such a big rig. Now, keep in mind that GM has given us the top-of-the-line models to drive, so of course, we're going to get the nice leather, we're going to get all the bells and whistles, and there are a lot of bells and whistles, by the way, everything from lane departure to proximity controls. And all that stuff makes for a really sweet truck. It also makes for a very expensive truck. This one retails for about $50,000, and I don't know many workmen who put on their work boots and work gloves and head out to go drill for oil in a $50,000 pickup truck. This is definitely the heyday of pickups, and what that also means is it's the heyday of upper end pickups, so they're relatively expensive.
The transition from V8 to V4 or V6 to V4, all we want the driver to know is what they see on the screen. 8 to 4, we don't want them to feel anything. We don't want them to hear anything. We don't want any boom going on. And some of the elements for which we handle this are the engine mounts are hydraulic.
One of the remarkable things about the new Silverado is just how much it feels like a car, at least on the inside. It used to be when you drove these massive pickups, it felt like you were piloting the Queen Mary. I mean, the input from the steering wheel to what happened with the wheels was, well, disconnected. But not anymore. I could be driving a Chevy Traverse as far as I'm concerned. Ram has built an essentially new truck. Toyota's coming out with a new Tundra, and Ford has introduced their concept of the F-150, so Chevy really did have to step it up, and you know what? They did. I love the steering wheel, maybe because I'm a car guy, and I'll be the first one to admit that. This feels at home to me. And here in Texas, I was just looking at the sign, and gas is just over $3.30 a gallon. So at that price, So what if you're not getting 40 plus miles to the gallon? Who cares? You've got a pick 'em up truck?
We figured, why not just put a step here, put a nice grip on it, and then design in a handhold you could use for your gloves so you could just swing yourself right in the back here. And so that's why these things purposeful and practical and easy, and don't take time to assemble and disassemble.
There's no poles or...
There's no poles and gimmicks and things like that. Purposeful and practical is how we try to do our stuff. Now, if we turn the light on, if somebody could turn the light on. So here you got this light, and then we got these LED lights here. And for those that have a tonneau cover, I know I'm a tonneau cover user. This doesn't help you a lot with the tonneau cover on it, does it? But that does, and that's a big deal. That goes with these tie downs now that we've got that you can rotate and move amongst the various positions. It's not in this one because we have the drop-in bed liner, but you can do it with the drop-in bed liner too. There's slots there you can put in and put those in there. So being able to tie down at the locations down here, up here, gives our customers, we believe, ways in which they can handle their stuff in the back in the easiest way.
You've got the wide open spaces of Texas, and you've got your ride for the next few years. As always, this is Roman reporting for the Fast Lane Car. Thanks for watching. Remember, subscribe for a video every day. I'm about to do a little burnout. Let's see how it does. Ah! Woohoo! Whoa, that's a little too fast.
There's no spare.
No, but it looks like there's a hole for a spare.
All you get is this.
What do you get? Is that from Ferrari?
Yeah. See? It's got that 40 on it.
That's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Listen, don't ever lose this. It's like $3 grand on eBay.
The most expensive
Yeah, fix-a-flat.
fix-a-flat kit in the world.
Yep. All the tools.